Well, students, good evening to all of you. Today, this is our exam preparation class of B.Ed second year according to the Kurukshetra University, right, guys? As you know that date sheet has come, right? I hope you all have downloaded the date sheet, right? So, you have the 4 exams, right? So, one by one, we will discuss, right? We have the 4 exams. You have 4 exams. uh, Exams are starting from 15th of June. Okay. The first paper is knowledge and curriculum on 15th, then 19th assessment for learning, then creating an inclusive school 21st, and on 23rd health, physical and yoga education. Okay, guys, I think you have got it. So exam are starting from 15th, clear to all of you, and finishing on 23rd. So guys, what happens when you finish your last exam? So sometimes after 4 or 5 days your practical exam starts. Okay, so you have to prepare your examinations of practical examinations beforehand. Okay, now from today is 27, you have a lot of time, okay, for preparations of the theory exam as well as the practical exams. Okay, practical part we have discussed many times, Hana. You have come to know that you have made the files also. Okay, and you have to prepare 2 lessons plan which you have to present over there. Okay, you have to give the presentations over there with the model. Okay, model should be there, right, guys? And whatever you are presenting over there, you have to write 2 lessons plan. Okay, but in today's class we will discuss the theory part, right? So today we will discuss your paper 2, right? Assessment for learning. Knowledge and curriculum we have discussed, okay, many times, because this is the important paper, assessment for learning. Today we will discuss, this is our exam preparation class, right, guys? So uh, I open the second PPT. First we have discussed about the date sheet, right? Because it is our exam preparation class, therefore I'm telling you each and everything. As you know that, Hana, already we have already discussed. That's why I'm swiftly I'm going that theory part is of 300 marks, practical is of 550 marks. Okay, BA second year. And guys, these are your 4 papers: knowledge and curriculum, assessment for learning, inclusive school, creating an inclusive school. Next है, last है, health, physical and yoga education. Okay, last 2 papers are of 50 marks. Okay, starting 2 papers are of 100 marks. Okay, today in our this class we will discuss the assessment for learning, right? So this paper it has cleared. So little bit we talk about the practical exams, right, guys? Because we don't have to skip it, because immediately after your theory exams practical exam would start. Okay, so you can prepare. Now it is a 27. If you have left something regarding the practical exams, so guys, you can cover in the next 5 days, 7 days. Okay, but when the first week of a June starts, yeah, around the 5th of June, Hana, when the 10 days are remaining, so then you will be busy in your theory exams. Okay, so if you have left little bit part of the practical exam, so finish your practical part within a 4 or 5 days, then start your theory paper. Okay, so in a practical exam, you know that you have to make 6 files, right? 4 files: EPC1, EPC2, EPC3, EPC4, and the most important 2 files. Number one, pedagogy 1 and pedagogy 2, right? For example, if you have SST English, one file should be teaching of SST and one file teaching of English. Okay, so 6 files you should have in your hand. 6 files. Okay, and second thing is that, guys, along with the 6 files, right, you should have preparations of, you have to prepare 2 final lesson plan which you have to give presentation over there at the time of your practical exam. Okay, and that lesson, okay, whatever the lessons, I think you all have chosen. Okay, many have sent the video to me. So you guys are going well, absolutely going well, right, guys? If some of students, they didn't prepare the final lessons plan, so they can prepare. You have the time. Okay, you have to present over there. And guys, whatever you are presenting over there for 25 minutes, 30 minutes, you have to show the model also, right guys? And whatever you are presenting, you should have 2 copies. It should be handwritten, right? So many times I have discussed. Okay, so directly I move to the, in today's class, which is a exam preparation class of assessment for learning, your second paper. Okay, now I move to my third PPT, assessment and evaluation and their relationship. Okay, first we understand that. After that, we will move to the, fourth PPT, which is your, PDF file of 55 pages, which I have sent today to you, right? So we will discuss the 55 pages also. Okay. So first, guys, at least we should, know about our paper, what our paper says, right? So we start with the PPT, assessment and evaluation. Okay. So guys, you have to understand these two important concepts, assessment and evaluation. This is the most important, right? So under this program, under this topic, assessment and evaluation, we will discuss about concept, meaning of assessment, uses, importance of assessment, then concept, meaning of evaluation, then uses of evaluations, then interrelationship between assessment and evaluation. This is all in your syllabus, right? Theory part, you can check your PDF file. I have already sent to you. Okay. So first we understand what is assessment and what is a evaluation, right? So what is the assessment, guys? We start from the assessment. Assessment is a tool which measure or assesses how well the students achieve the learning process, right? Dekho guys, concept should be clear because this is your, second year. You all are going to become a teacher. Okay, you should have knowledge of this teaching methodology, right? So what is the assessment? Assessment is a tool which assesses the student's personality, which assesses the student's outcome of learning, which assesses the how well the student is going throughout a year. Are you getting? This is a very important tool. It is in the hand of the teacher. And guys, along with this, with the help of a assessment, you can improve your teaching also, right? So this is a very much important. If you remember, many times I have told you, student is never ever weak. Student kabhi bhi nalayak nahi hota. I have told you na many times. Always, student is never weak. Always teacher is weak. Ana, many times I have told you. So guys, here I'm not talking about personally to any teacher. I'm talking about when I say that teacher is a weak, it means teacher does not have the knowledge of, these all the things, right? Assessment, evaluation, teaching learning process. If I say that teacher is weak, that means the method of the teacher is not good. If I say teacher is a weak, it means the teaching style of a teacher is not good. If I say teacher is a weak, it means the behavior of the teacher is not good. Are you getting? So guys, research says that. Always remember him in your mind. Always. Student is never ever weak in this planet. Right? Always teacher is weak. Because you don't have the knowledge of a teaching methodology. In any case, guys, this thing now you can apply in anywhere. In the parents teacher meeting and in the front of a principal, we say that now student is very naughty, student is this. Guys, trust me, this is all problem. It lies in the teacher, not in the student, right? So dekho yahan par the assessment, how much the importance of assessment in the teaching learning process. And think yourself, have you done the assessment of the student? Have you done the evaluation of the student? What the assessment is saying to us? Assessment is saying to measure how well the student achieved the learning outcome. Guys, what happens? For example, in the month of January, okay, student has come in your contact, okay, you are taking the class of a 7th class or 8th class, okay, in a January student has come in the class, you have start teaching to the student, and in the month of a December he has to give the exam, okay. Guys, you know what is happening if you are checking the student at the very end. This is our, traditional method with the help of a, examination. So it means you can never know about your student at a very first day when the student enters in the class. It should in your mind, it should be on your register, okay. And when you have delivered your lesson, immediately, guys, you have to check the, in our recapitulations, in our lessons plan, I have told you about the recapitulations now. 5 minutes you have to do the recapitulation. Means in your lecture, even, make habit whenever you are delivering a lecture in the class, the last 5 minutes you have to remain, you know just to know the, whatever you have taught to the student, whether they have understood or not. Yes, this is called recapitulations or wind up of your topic. This is a skill basically, right? And guys, if the students, more many students are giving the answer, it means student have, little bit they have understood, okay, your concept, whatever you want to, you have delivered to the student. And if they are not responding at the very next day, what you have to do, you have to make ease of your lesson plan. Whatever the topic, you have to make very easy of that your topic. You have to find out, I have prepared the topic by, learning so much hard. After 3 or 4 days, I have come to know about the concept, and in the class when I have delivered the lecture. But after delivering the lecture, when I started, asking the questions from the student, so many were not giving the answer. Why they have not understood? What is the reason behind it? You have to find it. At the very next day, you have to improve your lesson. This is called the assessment. So assessment is a tool which measure how well the student achieve the learning outcomes. I have underlined the important lines. Okay. If you have a copy and pen, you can underline that. Okay. I have already shared the notes with you. Next, assessment is not just a test at the end of a unit. The most important line. Do not compare assessment with the test. Assessment is not test. Assessment is not examination. Is not only, right? Assessment is not only test. Assessment is not only examination. Assessment is not only giving credit to the student. No, we give the credit score na, at the very end. Okay. These all are the part of the assessment. Assessment start at the very first day. Assessment means periodically you are checking your student. For example, mother, look after the baby when the baby born. Hana? She is very much, caring of the, the child. Similarly, okay, the duty of the teacher is to, take care of all the students. If you have the 30 students in your class, these 30 students, it should be in your mind. When you are sleeping in the night, okay, at least you have to think about your all the students, guys. Then, guys, you can say yourself you are an effective teacher. Why it is called teaching is not everybody's cup of tea. Okay. Why you does not get the selections in the renowned schools? Okay, because all the panel, they say these things. When you go for the interview where you are getting a very good salary, so what will happen? They will say to your okay, this is the class, please teach to the class. So the way you are teaching to the class, they will come to know about everything. Because guys, what happens when we you know teach to the students now, our behavior reflects. So from the teaching now, from actually we are teaching, it means we are reflecting our behavior. So we come to know that about the the personality of the person. Okay, matlab you cannot hide your, you can hide your behavior in some situation, but not always, right? When you are giving lecture to the students, when the student asks the questions, another student asks the questions, so guys, your behavior reflects. Then come to know that how much you are passionate about your teaching. Okay, so now we understand the concept of assessment a little bit more. Assessment is defined. Uh, Next definitions, please look after the next definition. Assessment is defined is a systematic way of acquiring, reviewing, and using information about someone or something, means student, as to make improvement wherever necessary. Are you getting? Wherever necessary. ये नहीं है कि ये नहीं आता चलो छोड़ो यार स्टूडेंट को, हमें क्या लेना देना. Wherever necessary, right? This is called the assessment. Okay, so now we move to the second slide. Okay, you will come to know about the assessment little bit more. Assessment is a ongoing interactive process. Ongoing interactive process. Ongoing means every day, right? After 1 day, after 3 days, after weekly. This is an ongoing interactive process. Interactive means between the both party. Who are the both party? What are the both parties? Student and teacher. They are the both parties. In which two parties? Assessor and assessee are involved. Number second, assessor is someone. Assessor kaun hai? Teacher. Teacher is a someone having the who assesses the performance based on the defined standard, while assesses is a someone who is being assessed. Matlab in a second now I say that, assessor is a someone, means teacher is a someone having the good personality, having the good behavior, having the good knowledge about teaching learning process. He is a person which molds the raw material in his studio. Remember the definitions of a Cunningham in the topic of the curriculum. What the Cunningham has said, it is a tool. Curriculum is a tool. It is in the hand of a teacher, who is an artist, who molds his material, means student, in his studio. Kahan par? In the school. Okay. So similarly, assessor is a someone who assesses the performance based on the defined standard, while assesses is someone who is being assessed. Guys, this is a very most important topic. Very, very most important topic. You should know about, this assessment and evaluation, right? Number third, the process aims at. कौन सी process? Assessment process. The process aims at. Up, what is the aims, benefit, uses of assessment and evaluation? The process aims at determining the effectiveness of the overall performance of the assessee and the areas of improvement. Guys, this is your duty. You have to check the weak area of the student. Then you have to work on that area. Okay, the student is lacking. You should have a register where you have to note all the name of the students where student is lacking, right? So this is called the basically teaching. Teaching does not mean there is a one syllabus and putting into the mind of the student. Student mind is a dustbin. You are putting each and everything. Guys, you have to make the student, arousing the interest of the student. You have to stimulate the student. You have to arouse the learning power of the student. Students can learn by themselves. Okay, this is called the teaching. Okay, next we talk about meaning of assessment in education, right? Education, I think assessment you have come to know on a lot of things. In education, the term assessment refers to the wide variety of method that educator use. Educator means teacher. Educator use to evaluate, measure, and document the academic readiness, learning progress, and skill acquisition of a student from preschool, thought, college, and adulthood. It is carried out to see what children and young people know. Most important line. Assessment is carried out to see what children or young people, to whom we are teaching, right? Know, understand, and are able to do. Kya baat hai? Very important line. Assessment is a very important. Again, it's a very important. Assessment is a very important for tracking progress, planning next step, reporting and involving parents, children, and young people in learning. This is called assessment. Are you getting how much it is important? Okay. Many of the teachers, okay, they don't go about it. Okay, they are bus in the process of finishing the syllabus, and they have in the fear in the mind, है ना, कि student ही कोई questions ना पूछ लें. हाँ, right? So guys, this is the job of the teacher, right? Because now this is the reason now we do the B.Ed, M.Ed, ETD programs. Okay, because this is a teaching methodology program. Only then we come to know about the teaching. Okay, otherwise without this, okay, we are teaching to the student, actually we are cheating to the student. Are you getting my point? So okay, अब now we talk about types of assessment. Okay, assessment, वैसे तो there are lot type of assessment, but you have to remember in your mind broadly, we divide the assessment into the two part, right? Two part. One is called formative assessment, one is called summative assessment, right? One is formative, one is summative. Okay, up guys, now the name is given, formative and summative. Okay, so from the word now we can come to know that what is the meaning, definition and concept of a formative and summative. So formative word, basically it has come from the formative years of the child. Okay, when the baby born, so we say na ki formative years of formative years, these are very much important, है ना. स्टार्टिंग वाले जो बच्चे के डेज होते हैं, हाँ, वी हैव टू गिव good things to the students, good nutrition to the students, good educations to the students, because when these kids, these child, when they will grow, in the adulthood period, okay, they will get each and everything. So basically we focus on the formative years. Similarly guys, formative assessment is that when the student comes in your contact, means at a very first month, school mostly it starts in the month of April, है ना. In the April starts, and February, March में exams happens, but now in the semester system. Okay, so we take the examples of for example, in the month of January, students comes in the contact of the teacher. From a very first day guys, you have to work on the teacher, you have to work on the student individually. Okay, so now we talk about formative. So first I'm talking about formative. Okay, on the left hand side, formative assessment provides feedback and information during the instructional process, right? What is the instructional process? During the lecture, I'm taking your lecture, this is called instructional process. Okay, so guys, whenever you are taking the lecture, okay, whatever you are giving to the student, your assessment should start at a very first day. Okay, it provides feedback and information. Okay, second, formative assessment measure student progress, but it can also assess your own progress as an instructor. Anna, this thing I have already cleared now in the starting, right? Because when you are teaching to the student and you are assessing the student, when the student are not responding, it means your lecture is not understood by the student very well. So what you have to do, you have to work on your lecture, you have to make easy the lecture, you have to change your methodology. Okay, so these are all things you have to change, so that you have to make lesson easy, so that student can understand very well. Okay, that's why what is happening, you are improving your teaching also. Okay, so formative assessment measure student progress, but it can also assess your own progress as an instructor. Guys, basically kya hota hai, what happens when we prepare a lesson na, so we prepare with our mind. Okay, so guys, we have to come on the mental level of the student, what they think, what is the attitude, what is the aptitude. Okay, what is the growth and development of the student, what are the intelligence level of the student, what are the creativity the students are thinking. इन सभी को एक ही लाइन में if I define, this is called emotional intelligence. Teacher should have knowledge of the emotional intelligence, right? Emotional intelligence means to know the emotions of other person, what is happening, psychology kya hota hai na, what the other person is thinking, right? So that's why it is in the your syllabus, the first paper, in the first year, childhood and growing up, it was all psychology. Third is A primary focus of a formative assessment is to identify areas that may need improvement. These assessments typically are not graded and act as a measure age to students' learning progress and to determine teaching effectiveness. Okay, I think it has cleared because in the studying, I have cleared to you. So this is all about formative. Up now we talk about summative. So summative है, as the name suggests, name is given summative. So at the end means, okay, summative assessment always happens in the end, in the form of exams, grade, and other. Okay, so now we read. A summative assessment takes place after the learning has been completed and provides information and feedback that sums up the teaching and learning process. Okay, typically no more formal learning is taking place at this stage other than incidental learning which might take place through the completion of the project and assignment. Okay, so guys, in a simple sense, you have to understand formative assessment always happens at the end when you have completed your teaching learning process and you do the summative assessment. The tools of the summative assessments are the test, exams, giving the grading system and others. Okay, so now I think you have come to know about the assessment in the detail, formative and summative, right? Okay, now we talk about what are the uses and purposes or importance of assessment. Okay, so guys, we start at the very first point to identify gaps in the students' learning. So बहुत important है. This is the most important. Actually, this is called teaching. Are you getting? Teaching is not something. आपने देखा होगा ना, some teachers, they boast about. If there is a science teacher, he says that I know more about the science, more about the mathematics, more about the English. I'm very good in English. अरे student को इससे क्या लेना देना, right? So basically, teaching means whatever you have in your mind, okay, you have to make the student like you. Okay, you have to inspire the student. You have to find out the gap in the student learning. Then you have to provide the remedial procedure. Then you have to reduce the learning gaps of the student. You have to work on the area of improvement of the student. This is called the teaching. Okay, teaching is not a syllabus and we have to finish. Okay, and we are teaching in the English. Okay, this is not a right. Okay, this is not a teaching. Okay, teaching involves a lot of things. Okay, if you remember the definitions of a B.O. Smith. Okay, in the first year, in our third paper, learning and teaching, and the B.O. Smith has said that teaching is a system of activities that produce learning. If there is a teaching, there would be a learning, guys. If there is a no learning, that means there is no teaching. Okay, and if there is a learning, there is a modification of a behavior of the student. Understand the chronology. Understand the chronology. If there is a teaching, it means you have taught effectively. So what will happen? If there is a teaching, the result in learning, student will learn. They will motivate. If they have learned, they have motivated, they have inspired, then third is their behavior would be changed. If you are not able to change the behavior of the student, that means your teaching is not successful because you didn't work on the gaps, learning gaps of the student. You didn't provide the remedial procedure. You didn't reduce the learning gaps of the student. Okay, you don't have the knowledge of the psychology of the student. So these all the assessment and evaluation. This is come actually within the teaching learning process, right, guys? It is throughout a lesson or unit, a teacher might want to check for understanding by using a formative assessment. So it is clear now in this line what I was discussing at the starting. Throughout a lesson or a unit, the teacher might want to check for understanding by using a formative assessment. You should know about the formative assessment, summative assessment, evaluation, tools of assessment, tools of evaluations. Okay, relationship between this all you should have the knowledge, right, guys? So today I try to understand these all things to you, right, guys? And I hope you will understand. Third is enhanced student learning. With the help of assessment, guys, what happens? You become able to enhance the students' learning. You will never know the learning of the student has enhanced, has increased, right? Assist student learning. You assist the student learning from this. जैसे मदर होती है ना, पेरेंट्स होते हैं ना, you have seen the parents ना, है ना, how they nourish the baby, their baby. Similarly, you have to work on your student. Guys, you know, uh, uh, how much you are, honest, how much you are, serious, committed. But if you don't know the method, na, if you don't know the teaching learning process, if you don't know the, you know, or if you don't have the thoroughly knowledge of the teaching learning process, teaching methodology, it will never happen, right? Means there would be, uh, uh, no effectiveness in your teaching. And if there is a no effectiveness of your teaching, student will remain weak. Okay, and you label that the student is weak. Actually, he has become the weak due to you, right? If he is getting the less marks, the reason is you, the cause is you. If he is not developing, the cause is you. If his reasoning power is not good, the cause is you. This is due to you, right? If he didn't become the intelligent, the reason is you. Okay, the cause is you, because you don't have that knowledge, guys, right? Teacher तो अब देखिए ना, what is the role of the teacher? A role of a electricians, carpenter, है ना? So they build each and everything. The role of a electricians, he fits each and everything. Plumber, he is doing his work. So what is basically our work? Our work, guys, we have to train the minds. Teacher is the torch bearer of the society, nation builder. Okay, guys, we have to increase our knowledge. Why we have to increase our knowledge? Because our student will get the benefit. Are you getting? We should have a library at our home. Every day we have to read the newspaper. We should have the knowledge what is happening in the world. Okay. It doesn't mean कि वो 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th का पढ़ा दिया syllabus and our job is done. Right? We have to work on the personality of the student. All round, we have to develop the all-round personality of the student, harmonious development of the student. We have to develop the student physically, intellectually, spiritually, ethically, right? All the things from all point of view, we have to develop the student, right? So evaluate and improve teaching and learning programs. And uses, purpose and importance of assessment is provide information on students learning and progress in a course. Most important line na, which I have underlined, in relations to the syllabus outcome, and provide evidence of a satisfactory completion of a course. Okay, next we talk about evaluations. Ab kya hota hai ki what is evaluation, right? So assessment we have come to know, and we have come to know about the majorly there are two types of assessment. One is formative and one is summative. Formative assessment, it is a ongoing activity, right? Everyday activity, ongoing activity. And summative assessment, okay, we do at the end. Now evaluations kya cheez hai? What is evaluation? The evaluation is derived from the word value, which refers to the usefulness of something. Therefore, evaluation is an examination of a something to measure its utility. Okay. Next, evaluation is a systematic and objective process of measuring someone or something with the aim of drawing conclusion using criteria usually governed by set standard, or by making a comparison. It gauges the performance of a person, completed project, process, or a product to determine its worth or significance. Basically, guys, ये both term, assessment or evaluation, is related with the assessing the student, measuring the learning outcome of the student. Okay, we are doing these two things, assessment and evaluations. Okay, the purpose of both are same. Little bit there is a different and comparisons. Okay, little bit. Okay, but main is almost the aim of both things are to check the progress of the student, right? Assessment kya karti hai? What the assessment does at a very starting, and evaluation at a very end, right? So similarly, यहाँ पे from the relationship of assessment and evaluations, we will come to know about assessment and evaluation. What is the relationship and comparison? Okay, and what is little bit difference about these two terms? Now, relationship between assessment and evaluation is that a process of a collecting, reviewing, and using data for the purpose of a improvement in the current performance. ये देखो यहाँ पे ना, you have to underline the word current. Current word is always associated with the assessment. Okay. Purpose of a improvement in the current performance is called assessment, and a process of passing judgment on the basis of a defined criteria and evidence is called evaluation. So when the students got a marks, grades at the end of the examination, so we pass the judgment. So this is called evaluation, right? We are evaluating. Next देखो क्या है. Second, assessment is a diagnostic in nature. Yes, this is important, right? Because in a think about that example. In a January, student has come in contact of you, and in the month of January, after teaching 7, 8 days, 10 days, you come to know that what are the learning gaps of the students. You can work on the performance of the student, learning gap of the student. That's why assessment is a diagnostic in nature, as it tends to identify area of improvement. Evaluation is a judgmental, because now student have passed the course and he or she has got a marks and grade, so we are passing the judgment he is intelligent or not intelligent. Okay, because it aims at providing an overall grade se related. Okay. You can say at a very end jo evaluate hoti hai, this is called evaluations, right? The purpose of assessment is formative. ये देखो, formative, current, diagnostic, these all word associated with the assessment, and overall, summative, at the end, these words are associated with the evaluation, right? The purpose of assessment is formative, to increase quality, whereas evaluation is all about judging quality. Therefore, the purpose is summative. Again, a summative word. Assessment is concerned with process. Evaluation focus on the product. You got it. Process. Starting January, February, March, we are teaching, we are working on the student. It is a process. Teaching is a process, right? अब student has given the exam, so evaluation focus on the product. तब तक तो वो product बन गया. अगर आपने गलत पढ़ा दिया, तो वो गलती उसके माइंड में आ गया. He has taken the degree. वो product बन गया. Okay? वो बैड नॉलेज मिल गई उसको, गलत नॉलेज मिल गई, तो वो वैसे ही बन गया, समझ लो. वो has become the product. So it is in your hand how much product you are producing. 30 students are in your class, right? So it all depends on you. Okay, you will, you are making these all the 30 products. What type of a products you produce, it depends how much knowledge of teaching methodology you have. Got it? चलिए जी, नेक्स्ट समझते हैं अपन. रिलेशनशिप बिटवीन, तो ऑलमोस्ट ये वही आ गया, राइट? सेकंड डायग्नोस्टिक है, जजमेंटल है, राइट? तो ये वही चीज आ गया, फॉर्मेटिव है, असेसमेंट्स है. ओके गाइस, तो नाउ गाइस you have understood about the assessment, evaluations, okay, types. So now I directly move to the notes which I have shared to you, right guys? So these 54 pages, so I'm discussing. Okay, so it is covering your syllabus also. Okay, not all the syllabus, but around 40-50% syllabus is covering, right guys? So we talk about starting, discuss the meaning, purpose of a evaluation in teaching learning process. Okay, so first question I have made this. So here we'll come to know about meaning, purpose, evaluations in teaching learning process. Okay, so we have come to know about the evaluation. Assessment we have discussed, the meaning, purpose, and this. So yeah, first questions we will discuss. After that, even I have made a question answer, easy for you. Okay. Second, guys, we will talk about, you can see that this is the second questions. What is the formative assessment? Discuss its benefit, right? So this question has come from the assessment. Okay, second questions. Then, third questions we'll talk about the very much important third या fourth, explain the objective characteristics of CCE, continuous and comprehensive evaluation. What is a continuous and comprehensive, right? So you know that सभी का जो base है assessment and evaluation है. If you know about assessment and evaluations, you will come to know, other part also. तो ये देखो, I have also made a, notes for you, right? Then we'll talk about, assessment, meaning of assessment, right, guys? फिर function of assessment, yes. Then the most important, tools of assessment. Yeah, this is called the assessment tool. And the characteristics of assessment tools. क्या characteristics होती है इसकी, right? We'll discuss this thing. Then okay, then हम test ये सारे tools ही आएंगे, essay type test and objective type test. These are the tools of assessments. Okay, then some additional notes: principle of evaluation, functions of evaluations, tools of evaluations, characteristics of evaluation, steps involved in the evaluations. So these all things we will discuss. Then in the last, difference between formative and summative, and difference between these two things, right? So today this thing we will discuss. Okay, so now guys, start. First of all, I want to show you your syllabus so that you will come to know that, okay, what we are doing. Okay, so this is your syllabus. Okay, see the syllabus. This is your first paper, 8 and 9 paper. This paper we are discussing. Okay, so guys, ये देखो जरा. Okay, so from this now you can see that. Okay, ये देखो, concept of assessment and evaluations and their interrelationships. Okay, okay, it has, today we'll discuss. So that's why I have shaded, right? Today we'll discuss. This part will. Okay, then purpose and objective of assessment, placement, diagnostic, okay, formative, prognostic, norm reference test, criterion reference test, quantitative, qualitative, ये सारा हम आज करेंगे, राइट? तो ये आपका यहाँ से फिनिश हो गया. उसके बाद आपका आ गया ये काइंड्स ऑफ ए टास्क, प्रोजेक्ट, असाइनमेंट्स, ये चीजें भी हैं, ये भी हमारा कवर अप हो जाएगा. एंड देन नेक्स्ट ये देखो यूनिट थर्ड में, सी द यूनिट थर्ड, need of CCE and its importance, continuous and comprehensive evaluation. Okay, so this one भी हो जाएगा. Meaning and constructions of, ये सारे के सारे ऑब्जर्वेशन, schedule, checklist, rating scales, anecdotal record, ये सारे हैं tools हैं, tools of assessment and evaluations हैं, right? तो मोटा मोटा तो ये हमारा कवर अप हो जाएगा, राइट? तो यूनिट 4 जो है, इट इज अ पार्ट ऑफ ए स्टैट. ये आपको नेक्स्ट लेक्चर में मैं आपको करवा दूंगा सारा ही, ठीक है गाइस? तो नाउ यू हैव सीन द योर सिलेबस आल्सो. तो ऑलमोस्ट 60-70% तो वी विल कवर टुडे. तो रेस्ट वी विल कवर इन द नेक्स्ट लेक्चर, डोंट वरी. ओके, तो नाउ गाइस वी मूव टू अवर फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन. Discuss the meaning and purpose of evaluations in teaching learning process. So guys, what you have to do, okay, up now, I will go swiftly, right? Because the concept is clear to you, because you have to learn this thing now, right guys? Okay, the important point I will understand to you already. I have discussed in the PPT. That's why I have made the PPT, right? And the important point I'll discuss, but I'll go swiftly, okay? Because I have to cover 54 pages, because this thing you have to learn. Okay guys, now, but I'll make easy for you. Okay, I have solved in the form of a question and answer. If the question comes, discuss the meaning, purpose of evaluations in teaching learning process, right guys? So guys, first you have to talk about evaluation. Okay, you have to talk about, there are two questions now. In the one you have to talk about meaning, purpose, right? This is the exam preparation class now, so we have to talk about strategy, and we should know that how we have to cover it. Meaning and purpose of evaluation, it should be of at least 2 pages. Okay, 2 and 2.5. And last, evaluating and teaching and learning process, guys, it should be in 3 or 4 pages. Okay, and in the last half page for conclusion. So ho gaya na total 7 pages. यही था. This is our method, है ना. I've already told you. Long questions you have to fill the 7 pages, 6.5 or 7 pages, and within a half an hour you have to cover it. And short answer of 2 pages are sufficient, right? So guys, ये देखिए, first of all evaluation. Okay, so evaluation is a systematic process of determining to what extent instructional objective has been achieved. ये first line ही talking about everything. The most important line ये देखिए, the first line से clear हो गया सारी चीजें. Evaluation is systematic process of determining to what extent instructional objective have been achieved. Whatever you have taught in whole of the year, so your evaluation of the student, result of the student will tell, right? So guys, आगे वही चीजें सारी है ना. I have already discussed ना. It is process of a gathering, interpreting evidence regarding the problem. So everything you have to talk about working, weak area of the students. Okay, and guys, this is important. Out of a 3 definitions now, you can learn any one. Okay, so I will suggest either go for Goods or either go for Camerson. Good has said about the evaluation. He has said evaluation is a process of judging the value of a something by certain appraisal. By certain appraisal. वो appraisal क्या होंगे? Appraisal would be the evaluation tool. Okay. Either you can learn the Camerson definition. Camerson has said that the process of making overall judgment about one's work or a whole school's work. क्या बात है? This is called a evaluations, right? Then little bit you can talk about characteristics of evaluation, purpose and functions of evaluations. तो ये देखो functions क्या होते हैं, purpose क्या होता है evaluations का, ना? It is asked by the examiner. Placement functions, instructional functions, diagnostic functions. इसका भी diagnostic functions होता है, but at the end. Predictive functions, administrative functions, guidance functions, motivation functions, development functions, research and communications. Okay, so now we move to the second part, evaluations in the teaching learning process. Okay, how we evaluate teaching learning process. So guys, first you have to talk about in the para, right? In teaching learning process, the evaluation is the most and mandatory part of this process, because evaluation plays an enormous role in the teaching learning process. It helps the teacher and learner to improve teaching and learning. Evaluation, this is periodically, it helps in forming the value of a judgment and this. Okay, so yeah, this thing now I have bolded. This is important. In education, how much a child has succeeded in his aims can only be determined through the evaluation. Okay, evaluation is a more, ये important है देखो. You have to talk. It is a more comprehensive, which includes testing, measurement. Means आप उसके test जो भी ले रहे हो, weekly test, महीने के बाद test. Ultimately, last में वो it is everything is containing evaluation, because it is a comprehensive term which includes testing, measuring, right, and also qualitative description to the student's behavior. What is the need and importance of evaluation in teaching learning process? यही बताना ना. This thing is asked by the examiner ना. तो ये all things, ये points दिए हुए हैं सारे के सारे, right? Need and importance. Need and importance of evaluation in teaching learning process. फिर role of evaluations in teaching learning process. ठीक है ना, क्या क्या role है इसका? Last में conclusions आपका, right guys? Now second question, it is again very easy. Formative assessment, we have already discussed this thing also. What is a formative assessment and discuss its benefit. Anna, assessment I have detailed, thoroughly I have explained to you with the help of the PPT. What is the assessment? Anna, what is a formative assessment? Anna, it is in the starting, we take, it is a diagnostic in nature. Anna, we take it is a periodical in nature. So these all things you have to talk about. Assessment, then formative, summative, you can talk about little bit, but it is talking about formative. Up now, second part, it is asking importance to use the formative assessment in school. तो ये बता देना है. So then benefits, ये पूछा गया था ना questions में. What are the benefits of using formative assessment? So guys, ये देखिए, when you do the formative assessment, right? Formative assessment, in the starting period, you have started working on the student at a very first day when you interact with the student. So guys, after a 1 year, what would be the result? The benefits will tell you the result. These all the benefits. ये देखते जाओ. Better focus on goal, right? Improved learning environment. The learning environment of the student would be improved. Student will produce the better performance. Student will improve the academic achievement. Student will enhance the motivation, inspiration, personalized learning experience, increase student engagement, inspiration, positive learning process, personalized again आ गया, promote self learning. देख रहे हो? These all things ना, these all the changes are coming within the student. How these changes has come? Because of your teaching method, because you have knowledge of the assessment, you have the knowledge of the tools of the assessment, you have worked on the student at the very first day, right? So these 10 talking about 10 points talking about the benefits of the assessment, formative assessments, which comes within the student. Got it? So, one paragraph I have also make formative assessment and student growth. Okay. So you can talk about, and in the last conclusion already I have told you whatever you have defined Anna earlier, you can conclude these all things at the, end, right? And make the heading conclusion. Again, okay. One more, even, the question is, what was the question? Question was, what do you understand by the formative assessment? Discuss the benefits of the assessment, formative assessment. Sometimes questions can come advantages and disadvantages. Okay, so guys, you can learn on the page number 13 advantages and disadvantages of assessment evaluation. Develops knowledge. Okay, plans for the future. Yes, सारे advantages disadvantages दिए हुए हैं. Okay, because concept is clear to you now. Now it becomes very easy for you, because one time now you have to learn all the things now, right, guys? So I make easy for you, so you can do that. Okay. Next, this question: explain the objective and characteristics of a continuous and comprehensive evaluations. था ना unit 3 के अंदर हमारा CCE, continuous and comprehensive evaluations, right? So guys, अब यहाँ पर there are two words, continuous and comprehensive evaluations. Okay, you have to understand और उसके what are the benefits, meaning, significance, merits. So these all things you have to do. So under these questions, under this heading, I have explained everything in the notes, in a simple notes. Okay. Basically, the first para is the important. You have to learn. Okay, you have to understand. Guys, CCE, comprehensive and continuous and comprehensive evaluation. It is a school-based evaluation which covers all aspects of a school activity related to the child's development. It emphasizes twofold objectives such as a continuity of evaluation and assessment of a learning outcome of a comprehensive manner. CCE covers all the domains of learning. क्या बात है, बहुत ही important दिया हुआ है. देखो CCE, देखो this is the important, you have to define. CCE covers all the domains of learning: cognitive, affective, and psychomotor. Okay, guys, if you know about the continuous and comprehensive evaluations, right? So guys, you can work on these all the three domains. This is the basically what is a psychology, science of behavior. And according to Drever, behavior is divided into the three part: cognitive behavior, affective, and psychomotor. यही होता है, right? So CCE, comprehensive and continuous and comprehensive evaluation, works on the all the domain of the learning. ये देखो, if you have the knowledge of a assessment, evaluation, continuous and comprehensive evaluations, guys, you can increase the learning power of the students in all the three domain. Basically तीन ही domains होती हैं, जो psychology भी यही कहती है: cognitive domain, affective domain, psychomotor domain. Cognitive domain में देखे क्या चीजें आ जाती हैं, right? So under the cognitive domain, you can increase the knowledge level of the student, understanding level of the student. Okay. And under the affective domain, you can work on the attitude, motives, interest, other personality traits on the student. And on the psychomotor होता है related with the motor activities, handwriting, constructions, Okay, these all the things you can improve, right? Okay, now we talk about what our National Policy on Education 1986 says. 1986 says that National Policy on of Education, which declares that comprehensive and continuous evaluation should include both scholastic and non-scholastic feature. Non-scholastic means co-scholastic. Okay, right? Scholastic means academic, or ye, inside the class and outside the class. Okay, what the students are getting. Okay, NCF, हमारा NCF 2005 क्या कहता है? It talks about school-based continuous and comprehensive evaluation system be formed in order to minimize the stress of the children, creating evaluation comprehensive and regular uniform, give space for the teacher for creative work, give a tool of recognition and producing learners with greater skill. Right? So these all things you can learn. Then meaning of a, isko two में you have to divide what is the meaning of a continuous, characteristics of a continuous evaluation, then meaning of comprehensive, then nature and continuous and comprehensive evaluation, then फिर purpose of a, and then aims and objectives of CCE, need and importance or significance benefits of a CCE, merits of continuous and comprehensive evaluations, and then demerits of continuous and comprehensive evaluation. So this is a easy one. So basically this is talking about, because we have already discussed now about evaluations and other things, so वो सारे के सारे ही points हैं इसके अंदर, right? Continuous and comprehensive evaluations, right? First we have to do continuous assessment, है ना, we are done it, and comprehensive, तो evaluations भी हमने कर लिया. So then CCE means continuous and comprehensive evaluation. It means what would be the result of a CCE? The result of a CCE would be we can work on all areas of learning domain of the student, whether it be cognitive, psychomotor, cognitive, affective, or psychomotor. These are all the things. So it's a very good notes you can learn it. Okay, guys, meaning of assessment, है ना? Assessment I have already cleared to you, right? In the PPT. तो ये assessment का meaning and nature of assessment है, formative assessment है, then characteristics of assessment tool. हाँ, this is important. What are the tools of assessment tools? तो ये टेस्ट है, एग्जाम्स हैं, प्रोजेक्ट हैं, असाइनमेंट है ना, which you conduct in during your teaching learning process. So these are the tools of assessment and evaluations, right, guys? Now question arises, what are the characteristics of assessment tool? So guys, whatever the tool you are going to assess the knowledge of the student, IQ level of the student, personality of the students, whatever the test you are using, it should be reliable, right? Characteristics हैं उसके. It should be valid, equitable, and standardizations. ये चार होते हैं basically, ठीक है, things, right? So it should be reliable and valid. Okay. So here, I give you one example. For example, there is a one watch, wall clock है, ठीक है? Watch, and it is giving 5 minutes late every day whenever you see the time. Okay, suppose karo there is a one watch, wrist watch hai. Okay, it is giving 5 minutes, time is giving 5 minutes late. When you see the watch in the morning, it is giving 5 minutes late. When you see the watch in the afternoon, it is giving 5 minutes late. When you see the watch in the evening, it is giving 5 minutes late. Time is giving 5 minutes late. So every time it is giving 5 minutes late. Okay, I ask from you, what you will say to the watch? Watch is a reliable or valid? The answer is watch is reliable. Why? Because guys, every time watch is giving 5 minutes late every time. When you say in the morning, afternoon, tomorrow, after 7 days, it is giving 5 minutes late. So it is a reliable. Reliable means consistency. Okay, but watch is not valid. What is the meaning of a valid? Valid means when the instrument is made for a particular thing, it should display that thing appropriately. So watch basically, invention of watch, see for which purpose? to give the correct time, but watch was not giving the correct time. That's why watch is not valid. So this is the difference between reliability and validity. So basically the 2 points होते हैं, अगर भी आप equitable standardizations आप लिख सकते हैं. Okay. ये देखो tools of assessment आ गया ना, project test, ये assignments आ गया, right guys? Project assessment tools आ गया, essay type test, essay type you know about, you know, theoretical test होते हैं, okay, right? तो ये सारे के सारे टेस्ट आ गए, advantages of test, disadvantages of essay type test. Then guys, objective test you know that, है ना? एक हो गए multiple choice test, filling the blanks, yes, no's, these all things. These are the tools of assessment. This thing we are doing. Okay. Malab, during your teaching learning process, you should, you know, use these all the tools. Okay. To know the, to assess the student. Right. So these are the objective type test. So ye short answer, completions, corrections. Okay. Yes, no answer, true and false, right and wrong. With advantages of objective and disadvantages of objective, right? So we are done. And then additional notes ke andar aap principle of evaluation you can learn. Okay. So in a easy way, you know, I have understood everything. Then functions of evaluations, functions or purpose same tha. In the first question answer we did enough. The question was, what was the you know, meaning and purpose of evaluation, and what is the role of evaluation in teaching learning process? So purpose and functions almost same. Okay. So okay, so same thing you can learn that. अब ये आ गया types of evaluations. ये देखो, formative, summative, prognostic, diagnostic, NRE, norm reference evaluation, CRE, criterion reference evaluations, quantitative and qualitative. Right guys? तो ये सारे के सारे I have explained. तो इनको आप पढ़ लेना. Right? तो rest of the part जो भी रह गया हमारा, we will cover in the next lecture, or then we'll start from here. Right guys? Yes, step involved in the evaluations. What are the steps involved in the evaluations, right? And then evaluation again, teaching learning process. Okay, ये repeat हो गया, right? So देख लेना if there is a difference. Then what is the difference between formative and summative evaluations? In the PPT we have already done ना. Formative हो गया starting, summative with the overall at the end. Okay, then the difference क्या है formative and summative, right? And then the difference, comparison between assessment and evaluations. So okay guys, so we are done with today. We are done with, you know, all the regarding the, you know, assessment, types of assessment, evaluations, relationship, assessment tools, evaluation tools. Okay, CCE, this is the importance, continuous and comprehensive evaluations. Okay, so you can match with your syllabus. A lot of part we have finished. The rest of a part in the next lecture we will cover it, and along with, you know, the next paper we'll start. Right guys? So thank you so much for this lectures guys. Thank you so much.